Hey, I'm Dr. John Mark Chesney with Simply Physio, and I want to demonstrate today my top 5 recommended exercises for helping with knee pain, specifically patella-femoral knee pain. But if you have any type of knee pain, most likely these exercises will help as well. So patella-femoral knee pain specifically involves the kneecap, so pain around the kneecap. It's usually involved with an imbalance in muscle strength and flexibility around the knee that affects how the kneecap tracks underneath the knee or within the groove. And so when it's not tracking right, it creates friction, and the friction can create inflammation and pain. So let me show you the exercises that I recommend starting off with to help with this condition. The first one is what we call a quadricep. So the quadricep muscle, when you're having pain, the quadricep typically is going to be inhibited. It's not going to be able to fire or contract at the level that it needs to be able to support the knee. So the first step is to just work on contracting this muscle in a way that's not painful. So if you have your legs straight, what you're trying to do is press the back of your knee down flat by tightening the quadricep, and your legs should get straight. Hold for about 5 seconds and then relax. And then you can press down again. Usually doing 5 to 10 repetitions. This is an easy one that you can do just here and there throughout the day, just to get that quadricep muscle firing again to help support the knee. You can do it sitting up with the legs straight out in front of you, with your heel on the ground as well, if that's more convenient. I prefer, if you have the option, to do it with the whole leg supported, sitting on the floor, laying back as well can work. So that's the first one here, the quadricep. The second one is the straight leg raise, so it's a little bit of a progression from the quadricep. You can actually start with the quadricep by tightening the quadriceps, and then from there what you're doing with the legs straight is you're raising up and then back down, up, back down. Usually I would do this laying down so that you can come up to about the height of that other knee right there. Up and down. You can stop just shy of the leg hitting the mat table all the way, so the muscle's always engaged. So you should feel some burn, some fatigue here in the front of the thigh. You're working the quadriceps and the hip flexor primarily. Typically going 3 sets of 10 to 15, but again, you want to get a nice muscle fatigue, muscle burn. If that's easy for you, you can always add some ankle weights to progress that exercise. So number 3, we got the side straight leg raise. So I'm going to demonstrate this on my left leg so I can face you guys. So laying down here on your side, we're going to straighten the leg and then lift straight up towards the ceiling. The side of the leg should be going up. We don't want to go up with the toes. We don't want to rotate out, or we don't want to lift forward. It can be helpful if you're back against a wall. You could have your heel tracing up the side of the wall to make sure you're staying in that plane to get the side of the hip. All right, so the fourth exercise here, we got the clam shells. So the clam shells also works on the hip. The hip is a key area for helping to control the knee. When the hip's weak, the knee can waver side to side. It typically is going to progress inward, and that creates an environment where the knee cap stays a little bit outward. The knee goes inward and creates this friction where the kneecap's not riding in that groove. So we want to control the hip and strengthen the side of the hip, the rotating muscles here. So we can get on your side again, have your knees bent, knees and feet together. Your feet stay together, but you're going to be coming up, separating your knees. You want to make sure on this one that you're staying your hips stacked. What most people do when they start getting fatigued is they just kind of roll backwards. The hips start getting a little sloppy. You can see my whole body is really moving. Really be cognizant of keeping the hips stacked on top of each other, and it's just the knees separating. You're going to get a nice muscle burn here on the side of the leg. Again, you want to go till you get some muscle fatigue. Typically, what I would start with is 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps. If you're not feeling anything at that point, then you need to add a little bit of resistance with some sort of resistance tubing or band or ankle weight. So the fifth one we have here are the mini squats. So I'm going to stand up here. With the mini squat, what we want to do is work on like you're going to go back and sit in a chair, okay? And they're called a mini squat because if you squat down too far, it's going to put a whole lot of strain on your knees. And if you're having pain with that, we don't need to be pushing down into a deep range, which you're just not ready for. So keep it more shallow in a range that, again, is comfortable. A few things to watch out for the mini squat, though. Your weight should shift backwards. Okay, you should feel the weight on the heels of your feet versus the balls of your feet. When the weight's on the heels of your feet, if you look down at your knees should not be ahead of your toes. Your knees should also be over your ankles, so it shouldn't be coming in. We want to avoid this type of motion. If your knees come too far forward, it puts a lot more strain on the knees, unnecessary strain. It can be more aggravating than helpful. So that's the one out of all these that takes the most skill. And just make sure, again, none of these should create pain. You may get some muscle fatigue. That type of discomfort should go away within a few seconds after stopping the exercise. So again, these are 5 great exercises to start with if you're having knee pain, specifically patella-femoral or kneecap pain. So give those a shot. Let me know how they go. If you're looking for more tips or you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, I'm Dr. John Mark Chesney with Simply Physio. My email address is john-mark, john-mark @simplypt.com. You can also call or text the office at 865-351-0615 if you're looking for more help or suggestions with knee pain. Thanks.